And we're back. Okay, so I decided what I'm going to do with the top here is just paint it. Either black or the same color I'm doing the wood. I'm not going to make it complicated, so I'm just going to paint that so I don't have to worry about the height. So what I did was back to a paper pattern. I just cut out a pattern that would fit in here. So we're basically going to have a full wall going down, and then the same over here. And then I'll cap the end off. I'm not going to worry about finishing stuff up under there. We'll just let that be an under the stairs storage area and not worry about it, because we're going to have enough to do with this tavern. We don't need to worry about that detail. So what I have done is I used my pattern and I just cut out two pieces from the 1/8 inch plywood sheet and stained them up. And on the outside piece I did some a little bit of detailing for the planking. So that's going to go in here like this. And then this inside piece is a little weird because I was actually able to use this is the inverse of the cutoff from my pieces here. So I was able to use that, and there was a little bit of cut here, but that doesn't matter because it's going to be on the inside. You won't see it. And it's got enough of a lip there to put the steps on. So I've got these all stained up, and then I just made an end cap for them. Same 1/8 inch plywood, and I just cut it wide enough to fit across here, so that'll just get glued on there like that. And one thing I forgot to tell you guys last time, when you're doing big pieces of balsa like this and you put paint or in this case kind of a stain on them, they'll really start warping on you. So when you let them dry, you need to put something heavy on top of them so that they dry flat. So I just got some books and laid them out on the mat here and pressed them down with the books so that they're all flat. So anyway, this is how we're going to do the inside second flight of stairs. So I will go ahead and put that together, and then we will be back. Well, we're done with this stage now, so I'll go ahead and tell you how I put this together. The first thing I did was line this piece, put this piece in, just spread glue on the side and put it in. Then I turned it up and put a weight on top of it and let it dry for about half an hour. The reason is when you put something wet like glue or paint on a big piece of balsa wood like this, it expands the wood grains on the side that you put it on, and so it wants to curl up like this. So you need a weight there so it dries flat. So I let that dry, then I put some glue on the inside of this, put this in and clamped it together, let it dry. So I had these two pieces going. Then I cut some braces for inside here, both to give it the stability and to make it easier to get this piece on. So I've got a brace down at the bottom there, one at the top, and I put this at an angle, and then just a little piece right there. Then I came in and just glued this piece onto the ends, and it was a little tricky getting this all to line up good, so I didn't have any sticking over, but I think it came out okay. Now I had a suggestion to actually put a door in here, but A, by the time I got that suggestion I had already glued this on, and B, I've got enough to do in here, so I just decided to go a little simple with this. So that's the way it's gonna stay. So next thing I'm going to do is I am in fact going to go ahead and throw a little paint in here on the inside of this, because I realized that when I'm putting the steps on there, there's actually going to be, you're going to be able to see through the steps. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that, and then I'm just going to cut some pieces of this to fit across here, 2 for each step, distress them a little bit, stain them up, and glue them on. So I'll come back once that's done and we can see how it looks. Well, the steps are done now. I've got the steps on here. They're all glued down dry. This wasn't anything terribly complicated, just cut some of the same stuff we did the outside trim with down to length and just put 2 on each step, so that worked out good. Up the top here I've done something a little different. Instead of putting steps across the top, I actually cut out another piece of this 1/8 inch scrap that I had from the same stuff we cut the stringers out of. And the reason I did that is because this needs to be flat, because the second story, which if I can find what I did with it, so the second story is going to sit on here like this, and then the walkway that we've got around the top is going to be sitting on here like this. So it's actually going to sit directly on top of this. It's going to help position and hold the second story anyway. And this isn't all fitting perfect yet, but that's why I've done that. So then when you take the second story off, you've got a flat surface, but it's not unfinished. So I finished that up, and you see I painted the top of the walls here just with that same burnt sienna color that we've been using for the wood. And that's pretty much it for the stairs. I don't think I'm going to do railings on this for a couple of reasons. A, they're going to be pretty brittle. It'll be hard to, if during gameplay, not to break those things. Two, rails going up here to the second story are going to be problematic. So I figured in my world, the owner of this establishment got tired of all the bar fights breaking the rails on his steps, so he just stopped putting rails on his steps. And since there's no OSHA in this world, then he didn't have to worry about it. So he decided not to have rails on his steps. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What I'm going to do before the next time we come back is I'm actually going to finish up the trim work in here. I got to put trim around the sides, some in the corners, finish up the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and do the inside just like this. Pain in the butt, but I really like this finish, so I'm going to do the inside this way too. But you don't need to see me do all that because it's going to be exactly the same as how I did the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then when we come back next time, we will be working on the fireplace, because I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do for a surround here and get that all finished before I can finish off all the trim on this wall. So, till then, you guys have a good one. Bye.